Yeah. I am Fragili Jamkasi. I am a Hexblade Warlock and Asimar of the Raven Queen and her favorite daughter. And I bring I bring the fun. I bring the excitement. I keep everybody from settling into a boring life. At least I'd like to think that I do. It might be a little delusional, but anyways,
Everyone, I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, and I'm playing Rouge Shahar tonight, your friendly changeling rogue.
Hey folks, I'm playing Viz. I'm Hey Wilson on the internets, playing Viz, a fairy rune knight, which is a subclass of the fighter class. Only if you can do something obscene with your tongue.
woo! Made me drop my pencil.
Vismel Evor Daktosh. Sorry. Yes.
Baby.
Standing a towering 1.5 to 2 feet tall.
On a good day. Hello, my name is Preston. My character's name is Fixing a Hill. He's absolutely in over his head, and I'm hoping I'm not. So, thank you. Hi, Chad. That's my friend. That's my friend. That's my friend. That's my mom friend. Uh-oh.
Oh no. I hear audio. No, I mean I hear it over the stream.
Yeah, we're
It's
getting.
in now.
I'm hearing it. The humans are the merchant. The humans are the humans are the merchants or the mules.
Oh, bye.
Yeah, I'm paying no mind to the merchants, but I would like to ride up next to Lady Tiffin and have a conversation with her, unless somebody wants to do something with the merchants. I don't want to squash that.
All you.
Yeah, so I'll just pull my horse up next to Lady Tiffin and just wanted to thank you for escorting us today. Yes, much better. Thank you. I probably looked worse too. Can I ask you? So you said, Wiley, you said that there's a separate like symbol on her for the Order of the Aster. Can I ask a question? Yeah. Sorry, that was my Rue voice. Couldn't you tell? So Rue's gonna indicate the symbol of the Order of the Aster. What, what is that exactly?
Yeah, Wiley, we're not able to hear you on stream.
Yeah, I just listened to it. I didn't hear you.
No,
Not yet.
no. It's like your audio source isn't going in.
Uh-oh. Hello, Sorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so Streamlabs decided to change out my audio input because.
I hear you on the stream.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
now
it's
on
there.
stream.
Yay!
Sorry, random stream goblins. No clue why things are doing what they're doing, but I mean,
Gremlins.
we're working, we're not working, we're working, we're not working.
Gremlins.
Okay, let's try this again. Rue, carry on.
Yeah. So this symbol that you have, could you tell me about it?
Yes, of course. We are the militant arm of the Church of Lathander of the Morning Lord, Knights of the Aster, or the Soldiers of Light. It's a very, very old order. And when the time comes for military work in the name of the Morning Lord, we serve at his pleasure. So here in Dagger Falls, we help the constabulary, but mostly we guard the temple to Lathander here.
Is there much call for your service?
I feel that I've drawn a rather pleasant appointment serving here at the Master of His Radiance, the High Morning Lord, because of the fact that we have such a good constabulary here with Zal. There's rarely need for us to take up arms. At least there hasn't been in many years, aside from the occasional someone acting out in town. We might help the constabulary, but we keep to ourselves and pretty much mind temple business. But recently, with all of the strange occurrences around town connected to the dagger, it's been a little more exciting than normal. But yes, it's not like if you were posted in Waterdeep or perhaps in a temple to Lathander that is not in a city and needs to be guarded. Much more dangerous appointment at that point.
That makes sense.
Yes, it's my life's calling, and it's an honor to serve the Morning Lord.
So you've been serving Lathander your whole life?
Most of it, yes. My father and mother, both priests of the Morning Lord, and I, as their only daughter, found my calling to the Order of Knights.
That's an impressive thing to dedicate your life so wholeheartedly to serving.
Oh, well, thank you. It's very rewarding. The Morning Lord spreads light and love, safety to the world. It's a wonderful vocation. She just kind of clip-clops along, one hand on the reins, the chinking of the barding as the horse bounces along the rutted road as you pass by the winding trail outfitter, and you are quite close now to the east gate of Dagger Falls proper. You can hear westward at the west end of Dagger Falls, where the river runs parallel. You can hear the roaring falls, that familiar sound that lulls you to sleep each night when you're in town. As you come upon the east gate, and as is customary, there are two of the constabulary, the local militia, standing at either side of the gate, and they just nod and smile. They sort of genuflect a bit or bow at the sight of the two from the Temple of Lathander.
Well, we're coming in that east gate, right?
Correct.
So I would probably want to make a pit stop at the Dagger Reforged, since it's right inside the gate, and just maybe check on Carrie and see how things are going.
Very well, yes. And again, it is late afternoon. You enter the village of Dagger Falls, and along the main thoroughfare, which goes generally just kind of west-northwest through the dusty village streets. The first block, if you recall, if you turn right, the Dagger Reforged is the second building on the right, amongst some rather humble residences. Across the street, there were a couple of maybe storage buildings, a couple residences, and then on down further to the north, across the street, is the Temple to Lathander.
Would you guys think any less of me if maybe we stopped and I could see if my old friend Carrie's all right, and maybe get a bath before we present ourselves to the Lord?
No, I think that's perfectly reasonable. We should find ourselves some rooms.
Right, I agree. I think getting a bath would be nice.
At this, Tiffin and Harndar Oren, the High Morn Master, stop their horses and nod. At this, we will bid you a fond farewell. I believe audience with the Lord Cormero will take place in about 3 hours. Late supper. Come hungry, says Harndar Oren, and he bows and he smiles at Rue. So glad we were able to help you today.
Yes, thank you, Your Radiance.
I will see to it that the families of these poor children are notified that we have their remains. And Tiffin backs her steed up a little bit so that his radiance may process ahead of her, and they make their way northward beyond the Dagger Reforged, presumably heading to Lathander's Light, the temple.
The big lady is nice.
Yeah, if you guys want to go down to the Teshford, I understand. I've stayed here so long at the Dagger that it feels more like home to me. But if you want to go down and enjoy some mint tea and some cupcakes, I get that. We could meet back up, maybe at the gate in a couple of hours, or you can stay here. I don't care. I just don't want to make you. I just don't want you to feel obligated.
Fix, do you like cupcakes?
I do like cupcakes a little bit.
You have got to try these cupcakes.
Are they good? Like they're really good?
No. They are heavenly.
Oh, well, I'd love to try them. Let's go.
So,
Good is not good enough.
Fragile will reach into her coin pouch and hand a gold piece to Andrew and say, why don't you buy a round for the group?
Round of cupcakes?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, sounds good. We'll meet you back here a little later. Viz, would you like to come and try these cupcakes as well?
That sounds good. Yeah. They pats his very tiny belly. They do tend to fill. Tell me, this Dagger Reforged, does it have a stage?
DM.
A stage? No, it does not. It's think vibe-wise, sort of like Hunting Lodge meets Irish pub. It's paneled. It's beautifully finished inside, molding and carpentry, wainscoting, but no stage proper. That would probably be the Red Rock, which is just outside the village walls, northeast of Dagger Falls as you head up the North Road into the woods.
Okay. Well, if there's no musical performances that happen here, I will go and have a cupcake and continue my investigation.
We could push a table or something together. You could just stand on it.
Oh, I don't need to stand on anything. I'm not performing.
Oh.
I'm looking for someone who thinks he can perform. Actually, he can perform quite well. But he didn't want to perform for the summer court, and that's not a good thing.
Oh, you're looking for someone specifically.
Oh, yes.
They are a performer?
Oh, very much so. Very florid.
Oh. Are they nice?
Maybe you can ask around town.
I'll be discreet. Anyway.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and split the party. Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
Say that so ominously.
Excellent. All right, so since we are in front of the Dagger Reforged, I presume Rue and Fix and Viz will turn their steeds around and exit the village proper and head southward to the Teshford Arms. And while they are making their way to the inn, we can see what happens with Miss Fragile and her visit here to the Dagger Reforged.
All right, so I'm going to just walk fairly confidently through the door, just looking for my friend Carrie.
Yeah, and so you enter, and it's all seems to be as you remember. Again, it's beautifully finished with regard to the woodwork and the molding. If you recall, Carrie took great pains to explain to you how he was able to do that carpentry in his retirement as the former constable of Dagger Falls. There is an empty glass case above the bar back that still glows by some magical means, but it is empty, of course, as you have all transported the former contents of that case back to Mystara and Blackclaw Mountain. And so the box where the dagger once lived is now empty. You see a number of the typical patrons, all of whom you recognize. A few of them turn around from the bar or look up from a table where they're having conversation and raise a mug when they see Miss Fragile. Hey!
Hey, boys. Where's
And,
Carrie at?
Behind the bar, you see the bald, stocky silhouette of your friend Carrie Willow. And he's working at the bar, pouring ales and wine and so forth. And he stops and looks up, and a big grin crosses his face. And he comes down to an end of the bar where no one's seated. And by the time you get there, he has a glass of your most favorite wine waiting for you.
That's what I'm talking about. You just can't get treated this well.
Well, good evening, Miss Fragile. It's good to see you. Welcome back. How was your journey?
Dusty. You look. I need a shower and a brush.
Well, we can certainly take care of that for you. Hey, Lexfire, thank you for the sub. So appreciative and grateful of your support. Thank you very much, and welcome back. Wow, we could get you a right proper hot bath drawn in no time, in fact. And he kind of snaps his fingers and rings a bell, and out comes a halfling from the doorway that leads down the hall to the stables. And he smiles. You'll recognize this halfling as the fellow whose purse was pilfered.
Oh, is that Din?
A while back. Yes.
Is that his name?
Barry Hasselfoot.
Barry Hasselfoot, that's it.
Yes, Miss Fragile. Welcome back. Good to see you. Bath time, I presume. And he kind of looks at you rather judgmentally.
She's going to kind of give him an evil eye and be like, what are you saying?
No, just when the bell, and you. I know you've been trapped. I'll get it right away.
Barry, it's okay. I can smell myself too. And she's gonna like shotgun that glass of wine and ask for another. So one more while we're getting this bath ready. Carrie, tell me what is going on.
Well, I'm happy to report that nothing is going on. Thanks to the company, the Iron Phoenix, and your efforts to rid us of this scourge. I presume your trip was successful, of course. Please have another glass of wine. And he puts the bottle on the bar and pours you a half a glass, as is customary, slides it to you. There's plenty more where that was.
And I'll
kept,
slide silver over to him.
Thank you very much. Yes, very well.
And I'll be like, well, it was a successful trip. We went down. We got to see, like, oh my gosh, some of the sights. Carrie, I don't have time because I got to get showered. And I'm supposed to go meet Lord Cormiel.
Yes, we'll be there with Lord Cormeriel, and Zal, of course, will be there to represent the constabulary, but I will be there with you as well, yes.
Oh, very nice. Well, we went down. We got to see some sights you would never believe. I'll tell you all about them, like, over some beers or wine later this week.
Yes, of course.
Alas, we lost a couple of people, not to death. They really loved where we were at, and I don't know if you remember Algernon.
Oh yes, of course, the skinny, quiet, bookish fellow there. Yes.
Yeah. I think he found himself a sweetheart, but I'm not.
Really?
Yeah. Another bookworm, and she's a pretty bookworm.
Hooks his thumbs in his bracers. Well, his braces, excuse me. How about that then? Very nice. Who else decided to stay?
Calavera decided to stay behind.
Oh, what a sweet girl. Goodness, I hope it's safe there.
And our friend, Gears.
The one that never eats.
Yeah.
I tried not to take offense to that, but that did seem rather odd to me.
Well, he decided to go off on a mission of his own. So we aren't quite a fully outfitted Iron Phoenix that left, but we were successful. We
Well,
got
that's
done
what
what needed
matters.
done, and we've met some new friends along the way. And gosh, wait till I show you some of the stuff that we saw and found.
Well, I'm definitely always interested in seeing things from other places. Tell me, did Ronvin and Rue make it back all right?
They did. They kind of like the Tashford arms and them cupcakes and
Oh, well, of course. It's much more comfortable. This is more Spartan, more down to business, if you will. And he kind of picks up a tankard and raises it in the air. Ah! And people, take they assume there's a toast happening or something.
yeah. Well, I might go take a room with them just to be in the same building as them if something should
Yes,
come
yes,
up.
of course. No, of course.
But
Oliver, Oliver keeps a wonderful establishment there. And see that you bring some cupcakes back this way when you do come, if you would.
I will. But I had to first see my friend and get some of your outstanding uh, vintages and get myself clean.
Very well. Well, Mr. Hasselfoot should have that bath ready for you, and I assure you, Miss Fragile, that you'll have all the privacy that you're due. Of course, we have an area the stables cordon off so that no one can get back there and disturb your relaxing bath.
Well, I appreciate it. How's Barry doing for you?
Well, he's still a little bit miffed about. We never did recover that purse of his, but he's of good stock. He's a wonderful fella, and he works hard, and so we've taken up a little collection to try and reimburse him for his loss of coin.
Well, I'll make sure I tip him well, help him on his way a little bit.
Oh well, he will be very appreciative of that. I can assure you. It's so good to see you, Miss Fragile.
And she's gonna look up. She's like, we need to find something worthy to put back in that box up there.
Oh well, I quite agree. It's been quite wonderful and quiet, but yes, I think another artifact or something that Lorvar seems saddened by the loss of the dagger, but he understands the need to move it out.
Well, if I find something in my travels I feel is worthy, I will be sure to hold on to it for you. So, and then with that, she's going to step back to go get her bath.
Very well. Barry Hasselfoot will have reappeared right at your left side. You didn't even hear him. But he is at your side and quickly whisks you down the hallway, through the door, down the hallway, back to the stables, and takes you to a very quiet area that's as far away from the tenants of the stables as you can be. I mean, it's a stable, so it still smells of horse and mule and all of that comes with that. But it's very nicely lit, natural light. There's windows on two walls, but it's very much private. The windows are up quite high. And there are walls and curtains and things set up in such a manner that you can be in there and take care of your relaxing bath and feel that you won't be interrupted.
Okay, and I am going to take this off here. I'm going to give him a gold piece as a tip.
His eyes lighten up. Well, and he kind of bites it real quick, smiling at you. Eyes just kind of sparkle. What? Miss Virgili, thank you so much.
I heard you've been working hard to just suck it up and get on with life and just try to get yourself reset. And so maybe this will help you out in your way a little bit.
You see his face kind of darken for a second as he's reminded of the theft of his purse. Yes, well, I'm trying to put that behind me. Everyone's been so nice, and this is wonderful. Thank you very much. Let me know. I'll just be out here working about in the stable. But if you need anything, please don't hesitate. I could bring you something to eat if you wish.
That is all right. I'm going to be eating with Lord Cormier tonight.
Oh well, yes, of course. I'm sure. Yes, to tell of your successful trip. I'm sure you didn't happen to see my purse, did you?
No, I did not see your purse, Barry. However, if I do,
No.
I promise you, is your name on it?
Well, it's BH in the Halfling script. It's there. Yes.
Let's tell you what. While I'm taking a bath, you just write what a BH in Halfland looks like, and
Oh,
leave it with Carrie, and I'll make sure that everybody in my group knows what to look for.
that'd be wonderful. Do you need another glass of wine or anything?
I do, and if you do, I do not seem to be able to find my brush. So if you
Oh,
happened,
right away. And he just leaves in a twinkling. He's gone
all
before
right.
you can even finish your request.
So she's going to take off her clothing and get in the tub as fast as she can, setting all of her gear as close to the tub
Yeah.
as she can.
You find a steaming tub of water there for you, and it's to the point where you can just ease down into it, and it kind of comes up to your chin. Very,
And
very warm.
I'm going to I'm going to let myself sink down into it, and I'm gonna lay there and probably in a very low voice I'll be singing some kind of songs to the Raven Queen and Celestial.
Nice. Excellent. Very well. It does seem that perhaps your bathwater has been scented with mint. Maybe some essential oil or something. You're not sure, but it's very relaxing. It kind of clears your mind a little bit, almost like maybe eucalyptus might do. Sort of a Hall's mentholyptus kind of sensation.
Oh, nice.
Not
I got
not
a little bit
overpowering, but
got a little bit of a runny nose going on, probably then.
yeah, it's just invigorating, or probably in your case, reinvigorating, because it's been a long couple of days.
Um, yeah, so I'll probably do that. I'll probably every now and then, if it starts getting cold, I will probably prestidigitate the water a little bit to warm it up.
Very well. Yeah. So a lengthy bath then. Very nice. Yeah.
Yes. I'm probably gonna scrub my hair as many times as I can, and I'm pretty sure the water is probably gonna not be so nice by the time I'm done.
Probably a little gnarly. Yeah. A little road grime. Okay. Yeah. So you relax and enjoy your hot bath, your invigorating, tingling sort of minty bath experience in the stables of the Dagger Reforged. Okay, we should probably cut over to Rue, Fix, and Viz as they head back out through the east gate, the stone walls of Dagger Falls. You do notice while you're in town, there's the typical hustle and bustle of locals. You see in the market area, it's getting to be close to supper time, and so that market area is emptying out. Oh, looks like we lost somebody. Looks like maybe Dave poofed. So, what you notice that way are, I guess the most noticeable are the rather large half-orcs. There's a group of 8 of them drawing a draft horse with a cart with weapons and things, but also not only weapons, but looks like bags of grain, some very nice cut flowers, and they're making their way out of town. Behind them are a couple of different groups of halflings with what looks to be the remnants of maybe baked goods, some prepared foods, some vegetables. You're guessing probably local farmers who come in and sell their wares in the market. But yeah, nothing seems out of the ordinary. Looks like we lost Viz, so we'll just let the camera sit because he'll probably bounce back in just a minute. And then I want to thank Havox for the sub. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Preston, it looks like you've drawn a few fans there, buddy.
I have good friends.
Yes, that is very cool. And so we will cut to Viz, Fix, and Rue as they make their way out of Dagger Falls proper and head southward along the south road that crosses the river, the noisy river. It's pretty rocky and shallow through here. Just to the west, which as you cross the bridge is to the right, probably about 300 yards. You see Dagger Falls itself. It's kind of a three-tiered, all the way across the stream, wide falls. You cross the bridge, and just a few hundred yards beyond the bridge, you see the beautiful two-story kind of salt box with the big wraparound porch, the comfortable, familiar Teshford Arms on the west side of the road. You can see the areas for tying up your mounts in the front, and also the pathways that lead around back where the stables proper are.
Yeah, while we're walking through, Fix is just looking around, taking it all in, just enjoying the walk.
Yeah, I think Rue's gonna not start a conversation at this point. Hey, Wiley, the little keg of the mushroom ale, I think it was, that we got at the
Lucky Loot. Yep.
I think Gears was carrying that.
Right.
Did he say that somehow it's made it onto my horse? I got it with me.
Yeah, I would presume the Gears would have transferred any and all items that were meant to be returned to Dagger Falls to someone in the party to return them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Just say I took charge of that.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I will hobble my horse outside. Or are we on horse still? Or
I believe.
I think so.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, because
I
I believe you are.
will tie up my horse outside and pull down the little keg and head in.
And Fix will do the same. No keg for me, but
Fix that.
Looks like Dave is the victim of a Windows update. So we'll just let the cameras... I mean, it wouldn't be a stream on the Wiley Hobbit channel without some, significant technical issues because, I mean, that's just how we roll. So we'll just kind of sit with this until Dave returns. All right, so you find yourselves in front of the Teshford Arms. And while it does, with a name like that, it sounds rather fancy. This place is clean, neat as a pin, decently appointed, but more rustic than fancy. It's all timber frame, beautiful wraparound porch, the whole schmeal. Very comfortable place. There's kind of a little curl or twist of smoke exiting the chimney. It smells of cooking meat and baking breads. There are a few people on the porch, and it's nice because it sits up above the river. If you look northward, you could see a beautiful view of the falls. You could see a view of Dagger Falls. You can see the various rooftops. You can see the Lord's Keep. If you recall, toward the northwest end of the village, it's elevated. The topography climbs as you go northwest in the village, and this beautiful view of Lord Cormariel's Keep. And there's a number of people sitting at tables drinking various beverages, eating cupcakes and other lovely treats as you climb the steps to the Teshford Arms.
So I'm going to kind of hike the keg up onto my hip a little higher, and then I will fish out another gold coin in addition to the one that Fragile gave me, and hand them over to Fix and say, "Here, why don't you go and get some cupcakes, pastries, whatever you like.
Okay.
The baker here is extraordinary,
I can do that. Okay.
and I'm gonna go see about this." And indicates the cake.
Sure. Fix will like dart off towards the baker, following his nose.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough to find. The as you enter the Teshford Arms, kind of to the right and back, is the what appears to be a small counter, and it's full open visibility into what looks to be a bakery. You know this from the stone-fired ovens, the various tables, and the individual who's back there, female, human, looks to be rather nicely decorated in flower. White apron, sort of a blousey white top, cotton with woolen pants, hair kind of neatly tied back.
And I'm gonna watch Fix go and kind of try to catch her eye as he heads that way.
Fix would walk up and like go to hit the counter and press to digitate like a bell ring and be like, "Hello."
Yeah, so the gal behind the counter looks up and smiles and kind of arranges herself, like, oh gosh, I hope I'm not a mess, kind of a reaction very quickly. And steps forward. Yes, hello, I'm Din. There's a little sign that says Din's Dumplings and Desserts, and she looks you over rather observedly, like she's just trying to determine what she's dealing with here. And she kind of looks over your shoulder and looks back at you.
I am new in town, and I was told you make very good pastries and things. So I have, and Fix like plops the 2 gold onto the counter. I have money for you to give us food, I think.
So some cupcakes then. Very, very nice. Yes. Gosh, we have, let's see. Excuse me, my goodness, all the flour gets in my nose sometimes.
Right.
We have of course the chocolate cupcake with the mint frosting. And then we have a lovely vanilla cupcake with a lavender frosting. We have a kind of a brown sugar vanilla cupcake with a cinnamon sugar frosting. Those are the 3 that we have. Which would you prefer? You can buy them 6 or like a baker's dozen of 13. It's 2 silver for 6 and 3 silver for 13.
Could we do 13 of them and just have an assortment of each, just evenly? Fix like thirsty.
She smiles. Of course, yes. I'll get that for you straight away. Then that'll be 3 silver.
Can you break a gold?
Oh, of course I can. Yes.
The gold.
Yeah, and she slides 7 silver coins back to you and takes the gold piece. And very quickly on a tray, she puts an assortment of the 3 flavors of cupcake. Beautifully dolloped, thick swirl of frosting on what looks to be quite a moist, spongy cake. And here you are. She slides them across. She looks over your shoulder again. Make a perception check. Fix.
Okay.
She kind of sweeps her hair back a little bit, straightens herself some more.
2.
2, yeah. So yeah, she looks over your shoulder, and there you are. Thank you for your patronage.
Oh, thank you. And Fix will like take the big old pile of cupcakes.
The cupcakes go especially well with the mint wine. It's a specialty of the house. The chocolate mint cupcake, of course, is the best with the mint wine.
Okay, all right. Where do I order that here?
No. You'll get that if you get a table. One of the servers will help you. And she gets this pained look on her face. We have some new servers. At any rate, we have some new servers, but they'll take good care of you.
Okay, so just like seat myself.
Yes, if you go over near the bar there, Oliver will see that you get a seat.
All right, thank you.
Rue, are you watching any of this?
I think I watched long enough to try to catch Din's eye, and then I went to find Oliver.
She caught your eye back the second time she looked.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I'm just gonna wave and then go find Oliver.
Okay, yeah. He is hustling and bustling about. And he is in and out of the kitchen. You hear yelling, would be equivalent to Italian, that sort of language. Get out of the kitchen,
Fancy
yelling.
Italian.
And he's like backing out of the kitchen, bowing. Mama Beldy, I apologize. He's all, clearly very frazzled and trying to take trays of food. And he stops and he sees Rue and he gets a smile on his face. Rue, you've returned.
Oliver, I come bearing a gift.
Well, what have you there? Is that a keg for me?
It is indeed. Your mint wine was such a hit in where we traveled to that they wanted to send something back.
You don't say. Well, set it on the bar. I'll be right back. I really have to get these out to the table before they cool. Or Mama Beldy. Oh my goodness! And you hear yelling from the kitchen. There's the sounds of wooden utensil being beaten on a metal pan. Bang 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 kind of thing. And he turns around. I'll be right there, Mama Beldy. Oh, and he dashes off to a table full of dwarves who are kind of sloppily cheersing one another, with tankards, and he sets the food down and comes back. And he's got little rivulets of sweat running down his temple. Rue, one moment. I need to see to Mama Beldy before she breaks something. You know how she is.
Sure.
And he goes back into the kitchen, and you see 3 servers that you've never seen here before. Ordinarily, you would have Elena and Larissa Heatherdale, mother-daughter humans, who ordinarily do the serving, but they are nowhere to be seen. And there are 3 different humans who are working, and they don't look competent. They look a little frazzled, a little lost, a little. You see them looking for things, and they're moving kind of slowly. The whole place just seems to be a little off its normal. Smooth running machine-like operation.
I'm just gonna hoist the keg up onto the bar where he indicated, and then go find a table.
Okay. Yeah, and he bustles back out and he gives some things to the servers, and they're doing their best and taking care of things. And I would say the inn is probably 3/4 full. It's a beautiful, turning out to be a beautiful summer evening. Windows are open. There is a fire on the hearth, which seems a little odd for summer, but it's such a homey, wonderful place. It just wouldn't do to not have a fire, I suppose. Yes, so you don't have any problem. One of the larger tables is available, so you can slide right in there.
By this time, Dix is probably just like with the pile of cupcakes. All right, so I got we got the a chocolate one with the mint frosting. There's one with like cinnamon or something, and I think this one is vanilla.
Oh, just the 1 dozen.
I think there's a baker's dozen.
Right,
Did you want more?
I mean, this will be okay for tonight.
Oh, I can get more.
We'll take care of it.
Would you like your change? Looks like he takes it in his pouch.
Keep it.
All right. I heard there was like mint wine or something. It's supposed to be good.
There is indeed. So Dave, we're at Teshford Arms. Fix went to buy cupcakes and stuff. I'm guessing you're probably with us.
Yep.
Yeah, the mint wine here is very unique to Dagger Falls, definitely.
Oh, all right. And Fix will just like sit down and like, which one do I want?
Meanwhile, Rue's just like grabbed 2 of them, and one of them is like half in his mouth already.
Fix is gonna go with the cinnamon one. How's the cupcake, Scott?
So the cupcake, the
Here we
frosting
go.
itself is thick, creamy, non-granular. Which one did you have?
I had the cinnamon one.
Yeah, so the cinnamon one, the frosting is cinnamon sugar. It's got that sort of baked cinnamon roll flavor to it. The cake itself is moist, like you could press it to the roof of your mouth with your tongue and it would cling there. And it has that granular taste of brown sugar and sweetness of vanilla, but it is not granular in any way, shape, or form. But you're reminded of having brown sugar in your mouth. And it's very, very moist, yet somehow light at the same time. It is a confection you will not soon forget.
Very good cupcake. Fix is just taking one bite and he just looks at it. They are heavenly. You were so right, bro.
Aren't they though?
I won't.
Scott, are any of these a recipe that I recognize?
The cupcakes? Oh, you've had all of these before, except the mint one you've only had since you've been here, because it's a local. Like it was one that Din had to kind of pull together for the local. And oh, by the way, the field that works its way down in front of the Tetchford Arms and sweeps down northward to the river's bank is a field of mint. And you would have caught a beautiful breeze coming kind of from the northwest up into the windows of the Tetchford Arms. And so everything has this invigorating mint freshness to it. I mean, it's not like walking through a stick of gum. It's the herbal mint freshness, not the sugary gummy mint, right? It's that, again, it's sort of like that kind of Vicks Vapo rub, but not as intense.
Very good.
So Rue's going to take a big bite out of one of the non-mint cupcakes, probably, let's say a cinnamon one. And then just like freeze mid-bite and just savoring it for a minute.
Yeah, Viz, and Fix, if you want to roll insight as you watch Rue.
Ooh. Roll big. Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Got a big 5.
16.
Yeah, so Fix, you're kind of overwhelmed with the activity in here. It reminds you of a roadside inn outside of Waterdeep. If you remember, on the east side of Waterdeep, there's that halfling enclave. In fact, I believe you've been through there a few times. And this inn is kind of reminiscent of that. So you feel... I mean, I wouldn't say at home, but you're at ease immediately. Viz, with your 16, you kind of watch Rue, and I'm guessing you're highly entertained with the various. I mean, there are elves here, half elves, dwarves, halflings. There's a table of orcs in the corner, conversing quietly. Some of them bespectacled. There's 2 books on their table as they're sitting quietly talking in robes. There's, of course, the 3 servers who just don't look quite with it. The fellow who must be the proprietor, bustling about and the screaming from the kitchen. But what strikes you is the transformation in Rue when he starts into this cupcake. He kind of leans back, and you haven't seen him this relaxed in the short time you've known him. But it's like the weariness and the toil of the road are just sliding off of him as his eyes roll back. And he lets out this sigh, and you'd swear you hear music as he becomes lost in his cupcake experience.
Hang on 1 second, gentlemen. We're just going to get up with the half-eaten cupcake in his hand still. And he's gonna jog over to Dan.
Okay.
And is there one of those, like, what do you call the things, like the barrier thing to get behind the counter?
It like slings both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gated kind of swingy door thing that you could come through to get behind the counter. There's also a kind of a half wall between her area and the taproom area that you could see over, but you have to go around it to get over to the bakery area. It's probably 12 to 15 feet extending into the open space that kind of separates the end of the bar and the taproom and the bakery area.
Yeah, I'm actually going to duck behind the counter and just suddenly give her a hug.
Yeah, and she's like, eh, ooh, oh, well, hello, good to see you. You're well. You look well. Are you well? You seem well.
Yes, doing well. Just enjoying your
Right? New recipe? Oh my. Well, new to them, but, well, you know.
Yeah. And he's going to go back and sit down.
A little bit of home, and she gets on her tiptoes and pecks your cheek and pulls your ear like she's known to do her little brother. Yeah. And, yeah. So you go back to the table.
Dixie's just like a second bite in, just eyes closed, enjoying his cupcake. Big frosting bite.
Viz, what do you think?
Oh, I haven't had one yet.
Oh, please
Where
try
are
one.
they?
They're so good. There's 10 left. No, 9. There's
8,
9 cupcakes
7.
left.
Oh. All right. Well, Viz will fly up to one and sit down and to do a dainty little taste and see what it tastes like, because comparatively speaking, the cupcake's about half his size.
Yeah. Roll me perception, Viz.
Perception. Perception starts with P, ends with interception. There we go. That's another 16.
Okay. How frequently have you been on this side of the veil?
Some, not super often. I mean, prefer being in the Feywild, but
Right.
several times. Yeah.
So you're not unaccustomed to some of the looks when people sort of start to kind of zoom in and understand your nature. Would that be fair?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're getting some of that right now because you're kind of flying, zooming around. And it seems that the most interested party, you know, there's a couple of tables of elves, and they look and smile and, you know, whisper and seem kind of delighted to see you. You maybe feel a little stared at a little bit by the table of orcs near to the front wall. They're just, you know, kind of. And then they lean in and talk, and they look over, and then a table of dwarves looks over at them, and they shrug, and they kind of look in your direction, and then they all kind of laugh, and then they all go back to what they're doing.
Okay. Well, Viz will get. Yeah, it's a chocolate coated cupcake that he's been chowing down on, and somewhere in the middle he's got frosting all over his hands, frosting all over his face. Looks around, notices these stares from the orcs, and waves at the elves manically, and he's completely jazzed up on sugar right now, and just sort of like, oh, we're gonna have fun. Licks his fingers, gets more of the stuff all over himself, and then just sort of fly walks at about a 4-foot height over through the crowd. So he's sort of weaving in and out of the people that are moving around to the orcs, and comes up to the table and says, "Hi."
The orcish table?
Yeah.
The table of orcs, I should say. The orcish table, yeah. Yeah, so there are these 4 orcs in robes, various sigils and things. They look, the sigils, the runes look rather profane and harshly woven in, you know. They're not like, you know, like you've seen Elvish script, how flowing and fluid and dynamic and beautiful and graceful it is. And this is more like, you know, kind of sigils in that. And they all stop what they're doing and they eye you curiously. And one of them starts to write in one of the tomes with a quill. And one of them finally, "You're a fairy, correct?" speaks up.
Oh my God. Where? Oh, me.
Funny man. Yes.
And so Viz will do the obscene thing and just sort of wipe his hands off on his tabard or whatever, and extend his grubby little hand covered in frosting and say, "Hi, I'm Viz."
They kind of look at each other and smirk and smile. "I'm Rude."
Yes, you are.
No, his name, Rude.
Oh, what a lovely name.
Yes. I'm Rude. This is Zog.
Rude, Zog.
This Arzul
So what?
and Radzad.
That's it.
Yes.
Fascinating names.
We are from the west, far to the west.
I see.
Yes, and you are fairy, yes, right? Fairy. Very interesting. They kind of raise their tankards and clang, and these are hefty, beefy, fanged, tusked, whatever you wish to say about them. But I don't know what orcs Viz has encountered. But these fellows are nowhere near off-putting like you would. First of all, you're kind of like, orcs in here seems odd. They seem pretty jovial. They smell decent. They're clean. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what Viz will do is sort of float back a little bit, palm something, and all of the mess off him just suddenly just disappears, and puts whatever he palmed back. And it's a very subtle movement, so I doubt anyone actually noticed. And reapproach these orcs again, and just sort of flit over Rude's shoulder quicker than they can probably look, and sort of look at what they're writing. Mostly because Viz is a rune knight and loves the art and craft of creating and using runic magic.
Okay.
And so his fascination is with these really harsh, crudely done runes and whatever it is that they're writing in their books.
What languages does Viz speak?
None that they're probably using, so he's got a fairly small number of languages of Common, Giant, and Sylvan.
Okay. Yeah, they've been speaking in Common, albeit sort of broken and thickly accented. One of them looks at you and kind of winks at you. The one that he said was Arzul. And he says, "Oh, prestidigitation, really helpful spell, yes. I use it myself." And he kind of rolls a coin across his fingers, and the orc that you tidied up goes back to exactly how he was.
No, it wasn't the orc. It was Viz himself. He
okay.
cleaned himself up.
He replaces the little frosting and the crumbs. He unprestidigitates what you just prestidigitated. Very clever.
I get annoyed and do my own cleanup again. And do this weird thing where he's sort of floating now on his belly, looking at these guys, and just sort of, okay, so you can do stuff. That's nice. Weird flex, but that's okay.
Roll me Arcana.
And that's an 11.
An 11. The books are in a script that is similar to what's on their robes. It's hard telling what the books are. Roll an intelligence check.
Oh yeah, I'm so good at those. That's also an 11.
Okay. I mean, if you had to guess, you're thinking 50-50 chance that one or more of these dudes are wizards of some kind, spellcasters. But it just, the whole thing strikes you as odd, as a card-carrying member of the Feywild and all of the ilk who dwell therein. You can't get past the fact that there's this table of orcs sitting openly in an inn, a tap room, in a humanoid settled, humans, half-elves settled, peaceful place like this, and they're just sitting here having an ale, talking about whatever, and going back and forth with a fairy. Just strikes you as very odd.
Very odd. I don't know how much Viz would be phased by that. It's just sort of, okay, we're someplace new things happen. It can't be that much weird, but orcs and people don't usually get along, so why not? I'll do my own weird flex of druidcraft and just have a faint odor of skunk emanate from around the table. Because druidcraft is an all but useless cantrip in my opinion, and that's one of its effects. So, oh well.
Yeah, so they kind of go back to talking and regarding you, and then Arzul kind of leans back. Radzad, what'd you do? And the orc that was indicated as Radzad, what do you mean? What did I do? I did nothing. No such thing. And all of a sudden, this argument breaks out between the four of them about who let the stinker cut the cheese, whatever you want to say. And they begin to just argue back and forth. Oh, I do that. And they're sloshing some wine, and the dwarves kind of lean back, wondering what the kerfuffle is. A couple of hands, fall to the pommel or the handles of hammers and axe, until they realize that the four chaps at the table are quarreling amongst themselves. And you can see a few faces like, ooh. Oliver hustles over. Oh yes, what seems to be the trouble here? Radzad over here. I can't mind his manners while we're in the tap room. I apologize, says Arzul. And Rude is like, I don't know what is happening here. Some awful smell. I know it is not your place, but something here is terrible. Do apologize. And Zog, who's not yet spoken, seems to be signing, hasn't spoken a word. And Oliver kind of rolls his eyes and looks at Viz rather curiously. Who might you be?
Oh,
and are
hello,
you harassing
I'm Viz.
these poor patrons of mine?
Why would I harass them?
Why would you not? You seem a little tricksy yourself there, wee man.
Who are you calling we?
Well, you're a wee man. I mean nothing baleful by it. You're just a little smaller than the rest of us by a lot.
Oh,
And you're floating in the air rather strangely. Which is cool, but still.
perfectly normal.
I'm sure it is where you come from. I'm Oliver Sargent. I'm the proprietor here of the Teshford Arms. And he offers a hand missing a pinky.
Oh, okay. Well, Viz will grab a finger and wag it vigorously as he has figured out over the years that this is how people greet each other in this place.
Yes, well met. Are you here with anyone? I just would hate to see you stirring up the guests. All the dwarves have kind of looked over now at you, just curiously, foam in their beards and crumbs and.
What? Why I would never think of doing such a thing. These gentlemen were just curious as to my nature, so I came over to say hello. And then things got weird.
Yes, they did get weird indeed, says Rude. But the smell seems to have cleared, so no harm. And he kind of smiles at the dwarves and waves, and they're all like rolling their eyes like they can relate. It happens to us too. Don't worry about it. Kind of a social exchange there. And everybody kind of goes back to what they're doing. You catch, as you're watching the room, you catch maybe a little suspicion or disdain from maybe the halflings and the elves that are in the room that have taken notice. But all in all, seems quite reasonably peaceful.
All right. Well, Viz will barrel roll back to the table where the cupcake was, hoping it's still there, and continue to pursue his head diving into the center of the cupcake to see if there's a chocolatey center.
Yes, frosting is incredibly creamy. It is minty and vanilla-y, so as not to be so much like toothpaste as, those creamy melt in your mouth mints? Kind of like that. But very non-medicinal thanks to the addition of the creamy vanilla. The cake itself is incredibly dense, dark chocolate. Incredibly dense, very, very moist. Again, you could easily push a lump of it into the roof of your mouth and it would stick. It's very sumptuous, and honestly, you're not sure you can finish an entire cupcake given its richness.
What's the ceiling height in this room?
Oh gosh, it's probably 12 feet. It's all open timber.
Okay. That's okay. Good to know.
Yep.
Oh no.
It's a very clean, wooden floors. The furniture is all in nice shape. Big hearth where the fireplace is. Big stone mantle above it. And just a nice, tidy, well kept inn.
Yep. That's good. So I'll ignore the orcs and keep an eye on the elves over there. Make sure none of them look like the target that I'm looking for.
Sure.
I may fly over at some point and check the length of their ears rather obtrusively to be unsettled about it.
Okay, are you attempting to do so in a stealthy manner, or are you just over there checking out ears?
I will. You know what? I will stealth though. Why not?
Okay. Go ahead and roll me stealth. I'm trying to figure out how this works when you're flying through the air.
Well, what you do is you fly up into the 12-foot tall ceiling and disappear into the shadows.
Oh, and then you're going to check from there. Okay.
No, then slowly fly down and around where people aren't seeing things.
Okay, so roll me stealth. I like the plan. Let's see if you can pull it off.
16 plus 8 is 24.
That seems reasonable. So those of you at the table, which are now just Rue and Fix, Viz vanishes. It appears he was headed due up at the time of his vanishment, but he is out of sight. Viz, I presume you've entered the rafters, the timber rafters.
Oh, yes.
Yes. There are 3 tables. 2 of the tables have 2 elves. 1 of the tables has 5 elves. Some are carrying weapons. Some appear to be adventurers. One of the table of 2 appears to be in just traveler's clothes. Maybe they're locals. The other 2 tables look more like they're probably adventurers of some kind, of various vocations.
Okay. Well, we'll check out the 2 first.
Okay.
And then the 5.
They are in, I wouldn't say fine clothing, but nice, neat clothing. Cloaks are not present. It's just clothing. Again, it's summertime, and unless you're traveling, a cloak would probably not be necessary nor comfortable. There's a male and a female. They appear to be wood elves, dressed in familiar kind of green, brown earth tones. Neither carries a weapon, although the male has a walking stick leaned against the table, and they appear to be drinking the mint tea.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Viz will sort of circle cautiously, checking him out, making sure they're not illusions. Maybe just very quietly grab a little piece of cloth or something on them just to see.
Oh, so you're zooming right in.
Well, but quietly and stealthily. So just trying to be very unobtrusive, trying to check whether or not they're actually there or illusions or something like that. Just trying to test the waters to see what they're about.
Yeah. They speak in Elven, which you probably understand, don't you?
I understand Sylvan. I don't speak
Okay.
Elf.
Yes. So you recognize some root words. Sounds like they might be talking about money or business of some sort. Hard to make out because, again, Elvish, if I can even say the words, seems like a more crude form of Sylvan. Maybe crude, rudimentary might be the right.
Yes.
And the male's kind of like, finally notices you. He's like, I say, can I help you with something there?
No.
May I ask why you're touching me in my clothing? It seems a bit much, doesn't it?
No.
Well, let me help you understand. Yes, it is quite a bit much, actually. Thank you to just be on your way, then.
Okay.
All right. Very nice. Well met, of course. You know how they define elves, particularly in Greyhawk, as haughty, arrogant, above it all? Yeah, you just met 2 of those. The female just kind of stops and is looking at you like, really?
Really? And I just give her the look back because I've been dealing with Eladrin, and they're far more haughty than this
Yeah.
lot.
So she's just like rolls her eyes, and he looks at her. I don't know, dear. I do apologize. I just don't understand the nerve of some people just flying about in your face. I'm sure he doesn't belong here, but well, I'm sure he means us no harm.
And Viz, at that remark, will just finger some daggers and smile politely. Yes, no harm. And then, in a twirl and a twinkling, just zip around and go back into stealth mode again.
Okay. So kind of back up into the rafters.
Yeah.
Rue
It's
and
worth noting
Fix. Go ahead, Viz.
I was just going to say that it's worth noting that Viz is very capable of doing things without people noticing, including things like stealthing and sleight of hand. So I'm trying to just sort of do quick tests of people to see if, without, I'm not pulling their sleeve, for example, to get their attention. It's just a touch to see whether or not it's real, or if my hand passes through an illusory.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And so you're going to kind of make this test around the tables of elves. Is that correct?
Yep.
Very well. Yes, Armin, we are in the Forgotten Realms. Good to see you, my friend. I hope things in New Zealand are well. Are you guys locked down? I hope you're not locked down anymore. I know it's gotten a little crazy there. So good to see you, bud.
Hello.
All right. Roll me another stealth to check the next table of, I believe there was another pair of elves. These are dressed all in green. There are cloaks over the backs of the chairs. They're wearing beautiful curved elven blades. 2 males. They look to have some sort of regalia of some sort, or heraldry, like patches.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 23.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to kind of descend again. How about a perception from Rue and Fix?
I'm
And
good at these.
for Geely, while they're rolling, will you be coming over to the Teshford?
No, I told them I would meet them at the East Gate.
Correct, you did. Thank you for reminding me.
Unless it's
Nine.
late.
Okay, how did we do on perceptions, Fix and Rue?
Big 9.
Yeah. 8.
Okay, so yeah, you're looking around like, where the hell did that Viz get to? And you just don't. It's busy, Oliver and his 3 servers. He's had to, come over to tables and switch around people's orders and all of those things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a little chaotic, a
wait,
little
I have
more
advantage.
so than normal.
Oh, I have advantage. 17.
17. Okay, you've spotted twice now. You spotted Viz annoying a pair of elves dressed in traveling clothes, probably locals. And now he appears to be over at another table with a pair of what you would assume to be rangers of some sort. Yeah. Viz, you zoom in on these rangers. Gosh, Armin, that sounds terrible. I hope that you can get through quarantine all right. I forgot you were traveling. Yes, so good luck with that. They are speaking in a language you do not understand, Viz. Kind of
Am I
leaned
able to
close.
hear them?
Not really, Fix, because Viz is sort of across the room, and it's about 3/4 full here in the tap room. And so there's, that general tap room sort of murmur buzz, gurgledy-boo kind of thing.
Gurgly boo. Very good.
Punctuated at times by some thick Italian female accent, barking out orders and banging on pots and pans from somewhere over near the kitchen.
Very good.
So, Viz, are you going to try to touch or prod or perhaps purloin a little treasure? Maybe steal a dagger? What do you think?
Just testing the waters. Looking for illusory elves and seeing whether or not anything is out of place or if everyone is as real as they seem.
Yeah, roll me Arcana
Okay.
and sleight of hand if you're going to touch anything.
Okay. Well, I'll roll the Arcana first because I have advantage on the sleight of hand.
Ooh.
That's cocked. And Arcana is 11.
Okay. Yeah, you don't seem to see that they are illusory. If you manage to touch anything or poke anything, it all feels real to you.
All right. The sleight of hand is 22.
Yeah, so you can maybe touch, pull on some material, maybe even get a finger in an open part of the cloak at the wrist and, touch flesh. Just, you're just like, are they real? And everything seems to feel real, and you managed to do so undetected.
All right.
Amazingly enough.
With that insanity done, Viz will fly by at below knee level, back to the table where the rest of the group is, and taking a very roundabout, circuitous route, trying to get under as many feet as possible.
Sounds good.
So while he was doing all that, Rue was going to look at Fix. So it's Fix, right?
Yes, Fix.
You're
Fix.
from Waterdeep?
I am from Waterdeep, yes.
Did I hear right? You don't know how you got here?
No, boy, was it yesterday? I don't know. I kind of just woke up in the field, and now I'm here. It's nice here.
Can I do an insight check? See if it seems like Fix is being honest with me.
I'll Fix. Why don't you adjudicate that, buddy?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to burn an advantage.
Oh.
That is an 18.
I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
That's all I know.
So what's the last thing you remember before you got here?
Oh, good question. Well, the last thing I remember is I was sitting on my roof with my sister looking at the stars. And then I think I dozed off, and then I woke up over here.
That was in Waterdeep?
Mm-hmm. Right, I don't think I traveled very far overnight. I don't know how I got here so quickly.
And what day was that? Do you know what the date was?
Let me pull up a calendar.
I mean, we
I
don't have
gotta-
to use actual dates. You can
Scott,
just...
can you give me an idea of how long ago this was?
Sure.
I'm just trying to figure out whether he lost time. We don't have to figure out the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah.
Continue on.
I believe whatever the last day Fix would say is like 2 months ago.
Oh, so he did lose
Yeah.
quite a bit of time.
Oh, yeah. But Fix is not aware of that yet.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's like Thursday to Fix.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him what today's date actually is.
I got that coming up here.
Okay. Ooh. Really? Like, actually?
Yes.
Fix will just like look over at whoever's closest. Hey, what day is it? Like the next guy down the... Oh. Thank you. I have a problem.
It would seem so. So what was it you were doing in Waterdeep?
Oh, I live in Waterdeep with my
No,
family.
Did you work there? Did you...
My parents, they work for a like a trade company, and I was about to start working with them here soon. But at the moment, I was kind of just enjoying, 6 weeks earlier. The last date I recall is Kythorn 29, 6 weeks prior.
Today is the 12th of Elisis.
Did you get that off the top of your head, Andrew?
Of course. Definitely wasn't a DM from Scott.
Oh God. Yeah, my parents work in Waterdeep, and I was kind of just enjoying like that last summer before like adult life starts. Like gives like this massive eye roll. But yeah, I do not know how I got here. No. I got these new clothes, and he like looks down at these like red velvety clothes he's wearing. I had a hat back at home, but I don't have my hat no more.
So, Scott, would I know in the time that has elapsed since the date that he mentioned, could somebody travel here from Waterdeep?
Probably, yeah. Kythorn is
Okay.
month 6, so 6/29. It is 8/12, or Eliasis 12. It's about 12 days past Midsummer and Shieldmeet.
So it's conceivable that he traveled here.
It's entirely conceivable that he traveled overland, on foot or horseback or via cart in that 6-week time. That seems reasonable.
Huh. Well, what is it you want to do now?
I don't really know. I'm not in like a huge hurry to get home. I mean, they're probably worried, but I should probably send a letter or something. Do you have like a place to send letters in this town?
Yeah, I'm sure we could get word somehow.
Yeah, I'll hold on. He like pulls out of his book out of the little holster and flips to one of the pages in the end, just rips it out and starts taking out his quill and begins to write a little letter. Puts his book back.
As you guys are talking, Oliver steps up. He has a female at his side, wearing, very, very humble apron, woolen top and trouser. And he steps up. Yes, goodness gracious. Do apologize for the chaos tonight. This is Sindar. She's kind of new. We've had... well, at any rate, what could we get you all? And, oh, by the way, the keg, outstanding. Mushrooms, I
thought you would
believe.
like that.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that is for us.
It is.
What
And
do
you
I
can
owe you
tell-
for that?
Don't worry about it. You can tell people that it's from a far off place called Deep Delvers Enclave in Star.
I've not heard of that.
We're hoping to be able to change that.
I see. Well, could I get any of you anything to eat? Or drink, of course.
Nothing from you besides the cupcakes.
Yes, of course. He kind of
We're going to
smiles.
have dinner later.
Like we have a big dinner to catch, I believe.
Oh, right. Very well. And you, little man, wee man, he kind of winks at you. I think that will be my name for you. Wee man. Not amused. Very well.
How much weight can the floor of this building hold?
Why do you ask? It's a pretty sturdy building. I mean, I've never
Someday.
tested the theory, but
Viz arches an eyebrow. Someday I may show you.
I see. Perhaps I'll just use your name. What is your name?
My name is Viz.
Viz it is, then. Very well. And he bows low. Please excuse my vulgarity.
Viz.
Will you be... Rue, you have a room. Your new companions. Where are Al and Calavera and the big quiet one? Gears.
Well, Al and Calavera liked it so much in Deep Delvers Enclave that they decided to stay there for a while.
Goodness. Well, good luck to them. Very, very agreeable folks. Very nice.
Yes, definitely.
I recall Calavera had a rather fondness for our mint wine, as one does.
Yes, definitely. And Gears went off to find their adventure, unfortunately.
Yes, well, you'll have that. Didn't really get to know him very well. Seemed agreeable enough, but so quiet. And never eats. What's with that?
They're definitely different.
Well, I wish them well. So, we'll leave you to it then, and good to see you. I presume that you all will need a room. Would each of you like a room, or will you be rooming together? We do have a suite that's open at the moment, if you wish. It sleeps 5.
I think I would like my own room, please, and that will
Right,
be billed to Lord Cornero.
Yes, yes, of course.
Mine too.
Very well.
Hmm.
He looks over at Viz. And you, Viz?
Oh, I don't take much space.
Very well. Where will you be staying, though? Here somewhere?
Your rafters look good. Maybe in Rose's room. Maybe in Fix's room.
Very well. I'll leave you to sort that out then, and I'll have 2 rooms prepared for you then. They'll be on the rooms 1 and 2, actually, at the near end of the hallway, facing the front, of course, overlooking the mint fields, the river.
Did Fragile say that she was going to stay back with the other people? I don't remember.
I don't know that she said either way.
Oh, goodness. Well, we'll not get them a room and then wait. Could I get some water, please?
Yes, of course, right away. And he kind of nods over at Sindar, who's a slender, dark-haired young human, probably 15, 16, 17, somewhere there. Very, very quiet, sort of doughy-eyed, just trying to take it all in. And she nods, yes, right away. Get your water. And she scurries off.
Well, she seems nice.
So you're billing your room to the lord of the town already?
Is that not what you're doing? I thought that's what we were doing.
We have an arrangement with Lord Camaro.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm sure I could pay him back or something. Is that not that? How much is a room?
It's not much. We can cover you if we need to.
All right. Well, I will hand you, and he like hands you the 7 silver back. That will probably. Is that enough?
That'll do.
Slide my 7.
Rooms are
silver.
15 silver a night.
All right. Here,
Did
take
I
the
have
gold
that
too.
right?
I'll keep the 2 silver. That's funny.
Actually, no. Rooms are a gold per night.
Oh, hold
1
on, let me
golden
get my-
lion
Let me
coin.
get my 5 silver back. A lot of gold and silver sliding across this table.
Sindar returns very quickly with a cup of water. Here you are. Sets it on the table.
Thank you, Sindar.
Very well.
Fix will take it.
Yes. And she immediately busies herself with other patrons as the 3 of you sit and visit a bit.
So, Rue, are you from around here, or do you come from somewhere else?
I am from what is it I've been telling people?
Neverwinter.
My mind is just blank. Neverwinter.
Oh, that's like relatively close to my home. Kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
Closer than this?
Definitely much closer than this. But I get around a lot for travel. I tend to buy and sell things places all over.
Oh, you're like a merchant?
Exactly.
Oh. Pretend I didn't see that. So, like, you've been all around? Have you been to Waterdeep?
Sure, definitely.
Can I insight check that?
You can certainly do so. Obviously, Andrew, you can adjudicate that.
Not the worst roll of the night. Nice. 13.
There's a little catch in his voice. Yeah, there's a little catch in his voice when he says
Oh.
that.
Fix will like make a face for a second. Okay. Right. Well.
It's been a while though.
Right. Yeah. It's quite far, so I can't blame you for not being recently.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of travel. Conversation just kind of.
So no ideas what you want to do next.
Well, I got to finish this letter, I guess, and Fix will like continue to write his little letter and his, chicken scratch.
I meant more like
Oh, I don't know. I've always wanted to like go around and travel. But as of like recently, I basically just was like, oh, I'm going to have to work with the trade company and stuff, and it's like, not that that wouldn't be fun, but, eh, you know, it's like the family business. It's, I want something else. I don't know what else, but and there's a couple other things I've got to figure out here. But I'm kind of just along for the ride, if that's okay with you all, until something pops up, I guess.
That works. We tend to get some pretty odd jobs, but you might be able to find something that you can do.
Right, yeah. I hope so.
It occurs to you as you're visiting and enjoying your water and cupcakes that sufficient time has passed that it's probably time to meet up with Fragile at the east gate of Dagger Falls ahead of your visit with Lord Cormeril et al. For your meeting about your trip to Mystara.
Yeah. So I will leave another gold on the table. And,
Yeah.
Am I invited to this meeting, Rue? I don't want to like overstep too much.
I imagine that if you're going to be traveling with us, then we will need to speak to Lord Cormero and make sure that he's okay with that. So I think it makes sense for the two of you to come along.
All right, that sounds good. I know you can get bigger. Can you get smaller?
Am I not small enough already?
No, like hypothetically, like could you get smaller?
I can do things.
You could like fit in my pocket.
Not into that. You're cute and all, but no.
Okay, so you're going to make your way back across the river, and surely, as soon as you step through the two armed guards, militia, the town militia, into the through the east gate and into the village of Dagger Falls, which I have put up in a map of such onto the stream. I'll drop it in Discord as well for the players. But you enter the east gate, and there is Fragile. Fragile, would you like to describe your appearance now?
Yeah, well, first of all, they'd hear her singing.
Okay. Nice.
So they hear it in common, and then I'm going to go into Celestial.
Hey, Mike, I just paused that on the stream. You want to cut that so I don't run into any copyright issues?
There's no copyright issues because I have her permission.
Okay. Didn't know that. Very good. Carry on.
All right. So, instead of wearing my normal armor, Fragili's got her hair down mostly, but she has one basically braided section of her hair coming down. It seems like she's really cleaned up. She's got makeup on. Her eyelashes are thicker. There's some kind of just slight pinkish hue around her eyes. And instead of having her armor on, she's wearing leathers, showing a little bit of cleavage. The leather up top is outlined along the top with maroon stripe or maroon edging, and it also kind of goes on the bottom, and it's kind of got this pointed edginess to it. She's wearing what looks kind of like pauldrons, but they're super, super thin. Definitely ornamental, nothing that would probably ever survive a hit from anything stronger than, something a 4-year-old would hit with. And she's wearing the same material as bracers or gauntlets that make her fingers, the ends of her fingers, kind of look almost raven-like. And instead of her usual Raven Queen symbol that she wears outside for everyone to see when she's fighting. She has a delicate necklace on, and this time there's a raven's head that is in platinum with a large garnet set above it.
Ooh.
So she is carrying her usual sword that you're used to. She's got it strapped to her side with the ruby at the end, with the raven head that she told you is very personal to her. And strapped to her leg is a bandolier with 4 daggers on it. So all of and it's just a very well put together outfit. She looks like she's going somewhere important.
Well, Fragility, you clean up nice. You feel better.
I am feeling better. She's gonna. Did all of you guys bathe?
Oh shoot.
We haven't had a chance yet.
Pixel just
What
like.
was the whole point of going? You're gonna present yourself to. You smell like 2 weeks of sour BO.
I assume we've managed to. Okay.
She's talking to you, Rue. I smell good.
I assume we've managed like basic bodily functions, like. Okay.
So does anybody look like they need a little prestidigitation? I hate that word.
Prestidigitation. Pixel just like under Rue because he thinks he needs it.
So anybody who looks like they need a little touch up, Fragility's going to tidy them up a bit, assuming they allow her to. And she's going to frown at them and recommend that they allow her to.
Viz looks remarkably clean, also remarkably small, but
Fix as well.
Okay. Well, I guess I didn't smell anything. Must be one of the nearby people.
could have been room.
Running.
Did you guys get some cupcakes?
They were really good. Have you had the cupcakes yet?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
All right. Well, you guys ready to head up?
I'm a little nervous.
Did anybody else dress up for this, or am I the only one? I'm asking out of character. That's not her asking.
I mean, we haven't even been to a room yet. I assume they would understand that we've been traveling for a while and aren't going to be completely refreshed yet.
Fix looks pretty well put together. He's got like a black robe and like a like a crimson satin shirt and trousers that match. And like a hand axe on his side and like a book holster and pouch on the other side. So Fix looks relatively well put together.
Okay.
Stream kitty.
Hey, Rigatoni.
Well, I will turn and start heading towards the castle.
Okay.
Toward Cormiel's
Yeah,
place.
you recall that to get to the Lord's Keep, you would follow the main thoroughfare about 3 blocks or so toward the constabulary and then wind your way to the north. And you can see the keep is higher in elevation and it kind of looks down over the town. It's up in the northwest corner, back up against the wall. And you can see, around the keep and beyond the wall, the tops of trees and so forth. Kind of swaying in the summer evening breeze as the sun begins to sink in the west, lengthening the shadows. It's almost 7 p.m., and all of you are keenly aware of the time, as you're probably well past the time that you wished you would have put something more in your stomachs. But you make your way up to the Lord's Keep, and you are able to walk right in. Again, there are the typical militia, men at arms, if you will, all bearing either long or short sword with the chainmail shirt, the tabard that displays the heraldry of Dagger Falls. And of course, the Lord's Keep is crawling with soldiers. And as you get to the front of the keep, you see a familiar silhouette approaching from the southwest. And it is Zal, the constable, wearing his plate mail with the same Order the Aster symbology on the breastplate. He has with him on his hip a beautiful longsword as before. And he regards you. Well met. Good to see you. And then he kind of stops because he only recognizes Rue and Fragile. Where are the rest of you? And he doesn't even regard Viz or Fix. He's bald, probably middle-aged, 6'3", almost 220. Looks pretty damn rugged and doesn't appear to smile much.
Well, these are our new friends. They've replaced our old friends. They're still the Iron Phoenix.
Well, technically, legally, not. But please tell me, Calavera and Al have not fallen.
They are well, as far as we know.
What of your friend Gears, the warrior?
Yes, they are well as well.
Where are they?
Calavera and Algernon decided to stay behind in Deep Delver's Enclave for now, and
I see.
Years went off on their own adventure. It seems that these two are looking for work, and so we were going to speak to the Lord about potentially swapping them in.
Kind of gives Fix a hard look.
Oh.
Very, looking you up and down rather severely. Think like cranky principal, sheriff, older dude, disapproving.
Straightens his clothes.
And then he looks at Viz. You there, you're one of those Fae. Did you come through the veil?
Yes. And while this is going on, Viz is going to do his trick of floating clockwise with his feet in the air and talking to Zal.
He kind of looks at you even more severely. Well, as long as you don't create any mischief. And then he's going to finally tire of this and try to grab your wrist. Not roughly or angrily, just kind of try to stop you from turning when you're right side up, if you don't mind.
And Viz will dart out of the way and continue rotating.
I see. Very well. Well, see that you don't cause any mischief, or you'll find yourself on the wrong side of my constables. Welcome.
Hey Scott, your mic is speaking again.
Okay.
I think it's when you get close to it.
How about now?
Whoa.
Gotta do it.
All right. Sorry.
No worries.
Oh, no.
It's almost as if I've never streamed before. Yeah, so he regards you rather severely and then sort of just takes a deep breath and just mind you don't cause any mischief. You're all welcome here. You, lad, where are you from?
Directed at me.
Yeah, sorry, he looks right at Fix.
I come from across the east, Waterdeep, actually.
That's west of here.
Is it really?
Yes. Quite
All
a
right,
ways.
look, I'm not good at geography, okay? Look, I did not study very hard.
Clearly, well, yes. So if Rue and Miss Fragile here speak on your behalf, then you're fine with me.
Well, look, I'm not good at geography, y'all, but, like,
That's fine.
bear with me.
Well, I've no reason to distrust them so far.
Fix, you've been granted another advantage by your apparent friend. Ooh, how do I pronounce that? I'm going to just go with Queen Squid, even though there's an X in there.
That's my girlfriend.
Whatever, dude.
Or Zine Squid? Cuisine?
Queen Squid. Queen
Queen
That's my
Squid.
girlfriend.
Very cool. Your girlfriend.
I said-
Preston has a girlfriend. Cool. Welcome.
5 big
Welcome.
long years, y'all.
Wow. Nice. Welcome aboard, and thanks for throwing an advantage at our newest player.
I'm gonna need it.
So, Fix offers a gauntleted hand, rather meaty, at least you would assume so, inside this big gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fix will shake his big old hand.
Welcome to Dagger Falls. And then he offers the same hand, but he kind of closes it a little bit to try to be suitable for Viz.
Viz will take a finger and waggle along with it.
You'll have to excuse my brusqueness. There's been some rather disturbing things going on about here and lately, and the Fae seem to have had a hand in it. I don't mean to judge. I shouldn't. Well, at any rate, let's after you. And he kind of motions up the steps.
We follow up steps, I assume. Or, well, I'll follow probably really for Julie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll follow up.
Okay. Very good. So you enter per usual, and you clearly have been expected. A couple of the men-at-arms immediately, please follow us, escort you back through the hallways, again, polished, some sort of very highly shined, polished stone-type flooring, stone walls, wooden doors, very, very nice, very spotlessly clean. Again, still not fancy or opulent, but clearly nicer than any building any of you have been in. Rue would, of course, having been in several buildings now, would see that this is clearly the nicest building. And they lead you back to the audience space of Lord Cormeril, and as you enter, everyone stands, and you see around this large table, which is festooned and heaping with all manner of cooked meats, potatoes, vegetables, breads, cheeses, fruits, a veritable feast. You see His Radiance, High Mornmaster. You see Tiffin of the Eastern Sky. You see Lord Cormeril, Lord of Daggerdale. You see a half-elf dressed in leathers. You see Carrie Willow, the barman of the Dagger Reforged retired constable. And of course, with you, behind you, enters Zal, the current constable of Dagger Falls. And of course, Ronvin is with you as well. And the door is closed behind you. And Lord Cormeril bows. So the company of the Iron Phoenix returns. Good to see you all. Please have us... Wait just a minute. We're missing Algernon and Calavera. And we have friends. I believe introductions are necessary then. I am Lord Cormeril of Daggerdale. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome.
He looks to Viz. And you are...
Hi, I am Viz. It's the easiest way in common to express my name.
Very well. Welcome. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. And you, young lad?
Hello, my name is Fix Nihil.
Fix Nihil. Very well met indeed. You speak differently. I know Viz, of course, from the Feywild would speak differently, but your dialect is... You are not from here, are you?
Well, I'm actually from Waterdeep, but I think my accent's weird.
I see, yes. Indeed. Well met. Welcome, indeed. Again, I'm Lord Cormeril. I'm actually from down in Cormyr, but I am the Lord, the Keeper of Daggerdale. Miss Fragile, good to see you. Well met. And Rue. And he's shaking hands and affording you all of the customary greetings and decorum that you would expect in this current arrangement. Where are Algernon and Gears and Calavera?
Well, Algernon and Calavera found the sights and wonders of Mystara to be to their liking, and they wish to explore that world more. So they have chosen to stay behind. So, and our friend Gears has gone on a personal mission, kind of a vision quest, I would think. That's how I might describe it. That he felt right at this point in his life to take.
Yes, at which point the his radiance leans in. Yes, my lord, he has gone through the veil in search of others like him. Oh, I see. Well, very good then. I wish them all very well. It's a shame they cannot be here to tell us of your tales. I presume, first of all, that the dagger has been taken care of.
It has. Do I recognize the half elf?
Yes, Rue and Fragile, my apologies. That is Lorivar the Swift,
That's what I thought. Okay.
the
And
proprietor of the Dagger Reforged.
how is he looking?
Healthy and quiet.
Okay. He was not quite healthy and quiet last time we saw him.
Correct.
So.
Yes, he looks rather different than you remember him.
Okay. Well, my lord, we have accomplished what you asked. The dagger has been put so far out of reach that the chances of it ever returning are slim and none. And I think you'll find that Rue may have done a great job for the company in seeking out possible business opportunities.
Ah, well, these are glad tidings indeed, then. A toast in celebration that we've been released from this awful chaos and discord. And he raises his, it's sort of a goblet. Again, it's fine, but it's not over-the-top opulent. It just wouldn't, opulence just doesn't, this is an outpost on the edge of the wilds, so it's a fine goblet, but not crazy. A toast, then, to the company, the Iron Phoenix. And you do notice in front of, 6 of the place settings, there are 2 leather pouches in the 6 empty place settings, which you would assume are for the company of the Iron Phoenix. And he raises his goblet, and everyone, to the company of the Iron Phoenix. Well done. Now let's all sit and eat, and I'm anxious to learn all I can of your adventures while you are on Mystara. And he has a seat. At which time everyone else is seated.
Well, we used the spell that Algernon was given by Mr. Wizard Dude,
Roundtidis, yes.
Roundtidis, yes. And his spell was right on the mark. It put us outside of this place called Deep Delver's Enclave.
Yes.
When we made our way into town, we ended up making a few acquaintances, gaining some background information. And as far as the dagger, we were told by Rontidis that it should be returned to its previous owner, one Aaron Leveyer.
Yes, that was the plan. Yes, I recall.
Yes.
So you managed to accomplish this. And he's eating away. Everyone's eating and listening very closely to your news so far.
Yes, we were extremely successful in this. We did a little side adventuring just to see what the ruins were in that area. It was very spectacular, glowing purple. Got to engage with a couple creatures I think none of us had ever seen.
Interesting.
And then Rue did all the legwork. He can tell you about all the trade stuff.
Yes, I'm curious. Well, first of all, thank you. And with that, the Lord kind of looks over at Lorivar, who clears his throat and stands. Lorivar is a half-elf male, blonde hair, just almost to his shoulders, if it were not pulled back. Green, piercing, almond-shaped eyes, probably about 5'9", maybe 130 pounds, very lithe. Looks to be maybe late 20s. He's in a green cloak with leathers, has a dagger, rather plain, at his belt. And he stands and raises a cup. I must thank you all, but first I must apologize. And he looks at Rue and Fragile and Ronvin for my behavior back at the Dagger Reforged. I was uncouth, unkind, violent, and I do regret my behavior, and I hope you will accept my apology.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's good to see you in your right mind. We've, in our travels, run afoul of magic a time or two that could cause one's brains to not quite work as intended, and so we understand.
Carrie Willow kind of raises a glass. Yeah. It's good to see you back, boy. Glad you're back in your right mind, as Rue says. And he kind of takes a big swill. And Lorivar kind of smirks and nods. Yes, magics do not excuse violent, angry behavior, but I'm grateful to you for saving us from whatever that was and getting rid of it. So I just needed to say that. And he sits down quietly and lets you continue with your tale, Rue.
Yeah, so in terms of the trade agreements, I would say that we got off to a good start. We were able to buy some goods here, sell them there. I have a profit on the money which you invested, my lord, which I will return to you. We brought back some fine mushroom ale, which is being used at the Teshford Arms already.
You don't say. Mushroom ale. That seems rather strange.
It does, but it's actually quite tasty.
Ah, well, very good. Well done, Rue Shahar. Interesting. Well, you'll find in front of each of you 2 pouches. One, compensation as agreed upon, 100 gold for taking the trip and embarking upon this dangerous adventure. And then another 100 gold for your success with the trade agreement. So will there be the possibility of future trade going back and forth and the like?
We inquired as to this, and they are certainly open to the possibility. It's of course no small feat of magic to do this, but they're putting some research into it, and Rue will pull out the sending stone that was given to him by all the names have just vanished from my brain.
Yeah, Odra the Wind Sayer, whatever her,
Yeah.
the sage of Deepingdale, of Dagger, Deep Delver's Enclave. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oddities.
He'll just set it by his place for now. This is a way that we can, that your people can be in touch with them and make arrangements to that end.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. Very good. I'm well pleased and quite impressed. Very nice. So, yes, so you I suppose with Calavera, Algernon, and Gears, you might do whatever you wish with their share, maybe perhaps divide it among the 3 of you. But that brings me to my question. Your 2 friends here, your newcomers, what of them? Where did you meet?
Well, I would think they could tell their story.
Would you like to go first, Viz, or should I?
You're muted, Viz.
I'll be happy to unmute myself first. Hi, I'm Viz. And Viz will probably do the most uncouth thing possible, but from someone else's perspective, not necessarily his. He will actually get up on the table and walk respectively around everything toward the Lord, bow deeply, and introduce himself. I am Viz Malavor Daktosh, Rune Knight of the Summer Court. I am here on a quest to locate a specific Eladrin and return him to Queen Tatiana's court to perform.
This wouldn't be the scamp causing all the issues. There was a dark fey presence. You did take care of that, right? Oh, and excuse me, well met. And he shakes your hand. Perhaps you should go return to your seat. And Zal, this whole time as you do this, you could see his jaw clench, and his hand just kind of falls to one of his sword hilts as he watches you very cautiously. And of course, the High Morn Master, looks over at Zal, like, chill, old dude, And Carrie Willow just kind of sits back and, sips his wine.
At that suggestion, Viz will simply titter a laugh that sounds like a clear brook in the afternoon, do a backflip, fly up and away and back to his seat, and readily comply, and throw a wink over to Zol.
He kind of unclenches his jaw and tankard of ale. Doesn't really give you an expression. So,
Viz will blow him a kiss.
An Eladrin, you say?
Yes.
Why do you seek this Eladrin? And will he be causing us any issues?
The why is not for me to know. It is my queen who has asked me to return this one.
Is he a criminal?
Everything is relative to the laws of the land. Where I'm from, he committed one of the worst offenses imaginable. He turned down an invitation to perform before court.
Zal, as you start to say, like, worst offenses, well, he pounds the table and all the, one of the glasses tips over, and Lorvar's trying to get it, and Carrie's, like, rolling his eyes. And then you say about him blowing off an invitation to perform in the summer court, and he stopped. What did you say? This is Zal speaking to you.
He refused to perform for the queen.
How is this a punishable offense? I mean, what significance is this?
Different court.
Doesn't sound like a criminal to me.
Different court, different consequences.
I see. Well, go on then. I just don't need a bunch of fey chaos. We've already had enough of that here.
Oh, he's not fey. He's Eladrin. He's sort of like an elf, only not an elf. They're weird.
You see the High Morn Master, Harden, kind of raise his hand towards Zal. Zal, Constable, we appreciate your concern, but I think this sounds harmless enough. And he kind of harumphs and sits there displeased. Lord Cormeril kind of gets a smirk on his face. So we will not be having any issues with this Eladrin.
Probably not. He is an ego that walks like an elf, so he'll probably be performing somewhere soon, which is why I'm looking for him in the various...
Performing, you say? A bard, then?
Oh, yes.
I see. It's not ill-willed or malcontent, is he?
No, he's an ego.
I see.
Loves having people clapping and cheering him on. He's actually quite good, which is why he was invited to court.
Seems harmless enough, but there was a dark presence in the woods, in the forest east of here, where I believe not far from where you arrived. Zal left you a note. How did that go?
Oh, that would have been... Oh, yes. No, this lot took care of that rather handily. I was actually supposed to take care of that as well. There was a feint. Anyway, it's a long story. It's the Vale's guarded. Understand? So to get out, you have to get past the guard. To get past the guard, in this case, my Eladrin friend, who I need to return back to the Feywild, used a feint of some dark unseelie.
In plain words, all this fairy talk, I don't understand it.
Yes, there was a dark creature that we were able to...
A giant. A Fomorian.
Zal's eyes kind of get big. Well, that certainly explains the horrible tragedies we've experienced with the children. I'm sure. Yes?
Oh, he was out longer than I thought then. Yes, that would. They are rather brutish. And from what I saw, he had some pets. Displacer beasts.
Pets, you say, says Zal.
Cats that appear there but not there. They have tentacles on their back. They're rather
What?
mutated types. And so I guess they were a little far out of the Feywild for too long and probably did some rather bad things, and now they're dead.
Zal drains his tankard, looks at Rue and Fragile. But you dealt with these creatures.
They're dead. They're buried, I think, or something.
Yes,
Yes.
we took care of them.
Ah, well, very good then. So, and he looks back at Viz. So this veil, is it closed, sealed?
As well as it could be, for now. The veil cannot be really sealed. It can be guarded. There are thin points between your reality and ours.
No. What do I need to be concerned about here? Are we going to have more of these Fomorians and their kitty cats raining terror upon our, 3 children? Excuse me, 3. And he just kind of stops and collects himself. He's clearly beside himself. And, the High Mornmaster looks like he probably goes into prayer. Tiffin kind of squirms a little uncomfortably. Her chainmail, chink, 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 like chain will do. We've lost 2 children, presumably to this beast and his cats. I can't have any more of this. What assurances do we have that this won't happen again?
I am quite sure that the Sealy Court will reinforce the guards around this part of the Vale. They are not unformidable.
Yes, so I've heard. I'm not familiar, but so do you have sway with these guards of the Vale, or whatever? Can you somehow help us with them?
I will do what I can. But I do have a priority first. But I will try to help. Right now, this was one who's just trying to escape the Feywild. That doesn't happen too often. The Feywild's a really cool place to be in. So they don't usually try to run away. But when you're being hunted by the Queen of the Summer Court, people get a little dicey. They think maybe I'll move somewhere else. It's kind of like an oceanfront property.
Lorivar drains his wine glass and looks at Zal, looks at Lord Cormeril. If it pleases the 2 of you, I know you'll station some of your men in the cabin out there, but perhaps I'll have a regular look out that way myself. Extra eyes and all.
We dropped a very large boulder in front of it.
Ah, I see.
But Viz, you also said there are other similar gates
All over. Different places, different times. Time is a weird soup.
Well, I'll be sure to make my way out there, Lorivar says. Well, if that's what he says he'll do, he's a boy of his word. I can assure you I'll hold him to it if need be, but he'll be vigilant on behalf of the village, Carrie Willow says, and then just kind of sits back, and Zal nods his head. I think that would be a good idea. And Lord Cormeril nods as well. Well, then, to guarded veils and fey darkness ended. A toast. He raises his glass. So, what now?
Well,
Go ahead.
My story is a little bit less exciting. My name is Fix. I woke up in the field outside the town.
Zal kind of looks over at you and looks at Lord Cormero, and they all kind of look at you. The Lord kind of leans forward, strokes his kind of salt and peppery beard. You say you woke up in the field outside of our village.
I believe I was next to the river.
Ah. And where did you encounter the Ranvin, Rue, and Fragili?
I believe I ran into Fragili and Ranvin when they were headed back this way, getting the nice man and the big lady, who's also nice, to go help Rue.
Help Rue, you say?
There was something wrong with him, but it's good now.
Are you all right, Rue? Lord Cormero kind of looks at you side-eyed as he eats.
Now there was a bit of a residual curse from the Fomorian that we killed.
He looks over at Tiffin and the High Morn Master. Yes, my lord, I rode out with Tiffin, and we were able to reverse the horrible curse that was placed upon poor Rue, and he's I assure you, he's well now. Lord Cormero nods. Well, perhaps we owe you a bit more than we've compensated you for all you've had to deal with and all you've been through, don't you say? Wouldn't you say, Zal? He kind of nods.
I mean, I think a deal is a deal. We knew that there were dangers involved, and we agreed to do it. Those dangers were part of the price that we agreed was fair.
True, but what did you have in mind anyways?
He kind of smirks at Fragile. More coin, of course.
I like coin. I like gems.
Yes, let me give it some thought, and we'll see that you're compensated for taking care of this, what do you call that? A giant, Fomorian, you say? I'll have to look that up, do a little study. But, and he looks at Viz, you don't think we'll have any more trouble with these giants and their cats?
Likely not, though. They usually stick around in the Feywild. Safer for them.
Why would they have been here?
I think that they were a feint for this Eladrin that I'm hunting down. To get past the guard. Present one threat, sneak around while the guard is distracted.
So you think these things maybe were working in concert with your fugitive?
I believe so, yes.
He kind of looks over at Zal for some sort of insight. Zal, Fomorians, those are wives' tales as far as I'm concerned. Are they still out there, the bodies? I wouldn't mind seeing them myself.
I wasn't burying that thing. We'd still be up there digging.
That large, eh?
They are giants. Yes.
Well, Zal, perhaps you might go out and have a look. Of course, my lord, he says. Well then, we'll get you some more coin. So we've lost 3 of you. What are your plans, Viz and Fix? Do you wish to become part of the chartered company of the Iron Phoenix? If so, we will need to make the necessary contractual arrangements.
Right, yeah, if that is an option, I would love to. I've really got nothing else going on at the moment here. I do need to figure out where to send a letter.
Send a letter, you say?
Yeah, I wrote it up. I need to send it back home to Waterdeep for my family.
Well, I'm sure we can get that taken care of for you.
Thank you.
Stan, my lord, we have no reason to vouch for them or to say that you should not trust them. Either way, we just met them effectively on the road.
Yes, of course. Well, perhaps some time might pass before we make everything final, that you might earn your trust and your keep with your companions here, Ranvin, Rue, and Fragile. I must say, I'm going to rather miss Al in particular. He and I like to speak a bit about history and talk about the riches of information in my library. I was rather fond of old Algernon, although he was a bit brash at first.
Yes, I'm sure he will miss your talks.
Oh, yes, quite sure. And so the meal goes on, and the talk sort of, the tension comes down. They explain that two young children, Kellen and Kayland Greenfurrow, had gone missing over a week ago, and they're quite sure that the remains that you found in the sack that was being carried about by the Fomorian are theirs. And the High Morn Master does, Harndar Oren does relate that he has taken the remains to Kale and Malind, their parents, and proper burial will occur tomorrow with full service at the Temple of Lathander's Light. They also mentioned something odd that happened. A merchant was stopped on the road, probably about 2 days' ride east of Dagger Falls, and robbed. The two sword arms that were in his employ were overrun and slain, and he was left for dead. Some of the men at arms, the Dagger Falls militia, found him on the road, brought him back to the Temple of Lathander, where he was currently being nursed back to health. This was just a few days ago. And the men found on the road, and Lord Cormeril kind of tosses them on the table, these badges with the insignia on them. You see it there on stream. Let me get the art gallery to stop. Kind of that golden disc with the black flying snake. A couple of badges were found on the road, not far from there, and one was found pinned to a tree, pointing eastward. And of course, I believe everyone here recognizes these badges as the insignia of the Black Network, the Zentarum. I believe you found some on the road when you were dealing with that small matter of the dragon cult and such. And yet here are more.
We did. We also heard from Ian Aver, the original owner. I don't know if he was original, but the person to whom we returned the dagger in Deep Delver's Enclave. He told us that the person who bought the dagger from him also had a similar symbol and was apparently involved with the Zentarum.
So, what you're saying is this dagger was purchased in Deep Delver's Enclave and brought here?
That's correct.
And this Ion the Veer, says that this individual who he sold the dagger to had this very same symbology.
Yes.
How trustworthy is this Ion character?
Rue shoots Fragilian look.
I don't think he would break a word on a deal that he made with you, but I think that I would want to make sure all my wording was correct.
What manner of individual is this Ion the Veer? And the Lord kind of sits back, sipping his wine.
He's a purveyor of eccentricities.
So a merchant.
Yes. But I feel like he's very up on the law and doing what he said he would do. But he's always looking for a loophole.
So you take him at his word, yet he's not to be trusted.
I don't know that he was. I take him at his word in this matter because he told it to us in an attempt to in negotiations about the dagger. I think that he was being.
Oh, so he had an interest in reobtaining the dagger.
Yes.
See. But how on earth would this badge or this symbol be on this person who is in Mystara purchasing this dagger? Why would... Seems the more we dig into this, the less we know. Yet the more we need to know.
I agree. It raises questions. Has there been any other activity from the Zentarum in the area?
No. I mean, you will see from time to time Zentarum sword arms guarding caravans or small groups of them on the road, but they haven't been overtly causing any issues we're aware of. The merchant was unable to identify his assailant. We presume there was more than one. They took down the 2 sword arms. They took spices, some gold bars that they picked up here, some mint tea, of course, that was picked up here. He was hauling wood. They were headed to Hillsfar. Or he was headed to Hillsfar.
Did the man that you brought in say anything about, did they manage to kill any of the attackers?
No, that's who I'm speaking of. He could not identify any of the attackers. Just that his goods were pillaged and taken, and his 2 mercenaries were slain.
Just seems weird that they'd leave a calling card. It's brazen.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, the badges weren't left at the scene. They were up the road a piece. So we don't really know if they were in direct connection with this heinous act or they just happened to be on the road. You know, the Black Network is quite elaborate. They communicate secretly, they travel secretly, and yet you see them mostly dealing in weapons or, again, working as mercenaries. So it's hard to say whether or not the Black Network has anything to do with this incident, yet it's hard to rule it out. And then you tell me that this dagger that was brought into our midst was purchased on another world by an agent of the Zentarum, or at least someone affiliated with them. Did this Ion the Veyor have a name, who he did business with?
He said she called herself the Hydra.
He looks at Zal. Zal, you know, they're all like, the Hydra. Well, that can't be a proper name. The Hydra.
I assume not.
Sorrow's Tale, thank you, my friend. Very, very kind of you. We appreciate your support for that sub. Well, this is much to consider. So it seems perhaps the work of the Iron Phoenix is not yet complete. We've apparently ended this threat from the Feywild, and our new friend here tells us we should be in good shape. Loravar will support Zal in keeping the portal well looked after, but it seems we have a mystery to unravel.
Indeed. I've run into the Zentarum in my travels a lot of times. I'm not sure the best way to get to the bottom of this.
Well, you all are not that well known around here, which is one of the reasons we wanted to seek your counsel and your expertise, so perhaps you might be just the folks to get to the bottom of this. And as you're speaking, a horn sounds, and Zal jumps to his feet, pulls his sword, blows out the door, and it's like, no, it's not that kind of horn. You know, it's more like a kind of a call to arms. And at that, we're going to hit pause and end our episode.
No.
Carrie Willow also stands and runs out behind Zal, albeit much slower. And Lorivar the Swift also quickly out the door.
Yeah, I'm out with them.
Yeah,
Again,
Fix
me
would,
too.
Fix would stand up and follow, like, ruin them.
Okay.
Also, does the Hydra mean anything to me, by any chance?
Roll intelligence.
Intelligence, okay. Ugh. Oh, wait, I have another advantage from Sydney. Oh, 6. Wait, intelligence? Hold up.
Yep.
7.
Yeah, you drawing a total blank on that.
Yeah, Fix is an airhead today. I think I've rolled under a 10. Every roll. Except for
Yeah,
one.
my roll's been awful.
Yeah, it's one of them days.
Yeah, so you hear this horn sound, and you've heard this sound before when all this Lorivar chaos was going on, and there was fighting and chaos and stuff. You recognize that as a call of the Dagger Falls Watch, the militia. So there's an alarm being raised, and that's where we will end our episode.
Ugh.
You see that the High Mornmaster and his paladin, Tiffin, stand and move themselves close to Lord Cormeral, as if to remain. The shuffle out, Zal goes. You hear booted feet running. Lorivar, Carrie Willow make their way out. A couple of men-at-arms make their way in, preventing your exit until they get through and check to see that the Lord is okay, at which point you can step out into the hall, and you see a number of tabard-wearing, chain shirt, city watch, village watch, heading for the exits as you hear the horn blaring.
Hmm.
And it is there we will end our game.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Whew, so let's go around the table. Let's start with our newest guy. Preston, give us a little outro. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Hi, I am Preston. I'm Dice Sticks on all the handles that are important, like Instagram that I don't use and Twitter that I use too much. I'm Dice Sticks on Twitch as well. I don't stream either, so follow at your own risk. I make handmade artisan resin dice, and it's a lot. I do it as much as I can.
Nice. Very good. Glad to have you aboard, my friend.
Glad to be here.
All right, cool. Viz, give us a little outro.
Hey, I'm Hay Wilson, playing Viz. I'm here on Mondays with Wiley playing this wonderful game, Mysteries in the Dalelands, and I'm also on the Wednesday night stream, which is coming up at 7 p.m. this coming Wednesday. Be there or be square. Like I said, I'm Hay Wilson on the social medias. Also, I recommend that you look at Dice Fix's stream. He has a beautiful set of new dice that he's still working on that glow in the dark. They are absolutely stunning, and I need you all to go in and retweet and like it and follow him because he's got some good stuff there.
Cool. Very nice, very nice. Okay, excellent, very good. Let's keep going around. Fragile, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Mike. I go by Buckethead Clunk. I'm a very, very flimsy social network presence. I do DM a home game with a crew that I've been DMing for years, but I'm actually about 2 episodes, maybe one, probably 2 episodes away from wrapping up a years-long adventure that started in Barovia and should be ending with our famed cleric hopefully eliminating the spell scar in Tilverton. And then I get to play here every Monday night with our lovely friends, both old and new. And that's about it.
Nice. Awesome. Last but not least, Rue.
Hey everyone, I am Andrew. I'm Fellowship of the Tables here on Twitch. I'm Fellowship OTT on Twitter. This is pretty much all I'm really doing online these days. So come back and check us out again next week.
Woo. Yeah, we'll be back here Monday night, 7:30. Hopefully Ronvin will be able to join us. And we'll see what this horn thing is all about, this alarm that's been sounded. In the quiet, sleepy village of Dagger Falls where nothing crazy ever goes crazy or bad or wrong. Super welcome to Havocs and Metabike and Queen Squid. New friends to the channel. Super glad to have you along. Thanks for hanging out. Wednesday, very special night. Our friend Gideon on the inside, is going through transition, male to female to male. Sorry. And he's going to be going through top surgery very soon, and we're going to do a little fundraiser for Gideon. So Wednesday night's game of Dragon of Icespire Peak will be a fundraiser. So come on aboard Wednesday and help us raise some money for our friend Gideon as he gets ready for top surgery. We're going to do a bigger fundraiser on a Saturday in August coming up, but this will be a nice little in-game sort of thing we're going to do Wednesdays. So we stream Mondays and Wednesdays per the schedule. Let's go ahead and raid Praetor's Rejects. Again, I'm Wiley Hobbit. Also, check out our new podcast called Greycast. It's all about the world of Greyhawk. Little information there in the chat, so check that out. And we're going to raid into, speaking of Greyhawk, my buddy Jimmy over there on Praetor's Rejects. They do a lot of Greyhawk D&D stuff, so please consider coming over Wednesday to watch Dragon of Icespire Peak and helping us raise a little money for our friend Gideon, and we'll see you back here next Monday, 7:30. So thanks for hanging out in chat, and we will talk to you really, really soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,